Okay, so this lesson will be somewhat shorter because it's really hard to talk about the things that we've already been talking about this week without defining in control versus out of control behaviors. So behaviors are either in control or out of control. The out of control behaviors are all of those automatic behaviors that we did as trauma survivors, and all of those behaviors that we do to try to shut down our feelings. And then in control behaviors are the ones that you're going to learn through the trauma erase method. Those are basically the feelings where the behaviors where that they're directed toward getting a need met that you have, and they actually fulfill that need. So we're talking about effective behaviors that help you get what you need. Okay. So what are out of control behaviors? We can look at them as attempts to control or avoid certain feelings, things that we do over and over again that we don't feel good about after we've done them and we realize that we're still repeating a habit that we wish we could stop, behaviors that we've tried to stop without success, and behaviors that feel compulsive, meaning that when the behavior comes up or the opportunity to do that thing comes up, we can't avoid it, like buying and eating roasted salted nuts and eating them past the time when you're full, when you feel sick, or going into the kitchen and not getting it clean and leaving everything open, or compulsive cleaning. So it's any of those things that it feels like we can't stop it, even if we've tried. So out of control behaviors, if you want to think about it this way, they usually come with a cost. There will be a financial cost, an interpersonal cost, and to our relationships, a cost to our health, like how well we feel after we've done those out of control behaviors, or to our happiness. So if you think about a behavior that you don't like, that you wish you could change, there's always a cost. And trying to feel a need indirectly means that we're trying to make a feeling go away without actually looking at what the need is that's unfulfilled. So out of control behaviors aren't actually trying to fulfill a need. They're trying to shut down the need by changing the feelings from something that is directing us, helping us understand where we need to be looking to get our needs met, to the place where it's encouraging us just to shut it all down and our need doesn't get met at all. So we have to look at the underlying needs and see how to address them directly. This is like the example I told you in the last lesson, where I would want to eat, usually food like this woman is eating, and I would do that, but the real need was physical rest, or the real need was to give myself a break from perfectionistic thinking about how well assignments had to be done while I was in college. So what is the underlying need that we're trying to shut down when we go for some behavior that doesn't work for us? So to change the out of control behavior, we have to stop. We have to insert time between that out of control feeling and the behavior that's intended to shut it down. So stop, pay attention to yourself, identify the need that you're really trying to fulfill with the behavior. So remember in the last lesson where I said, you don't have to do anything right now. Our feelings really make us compelled toward a certain behavior, and we don't have to do anything. We want to actually increase our awareness. What feelings are driving my behavior? So to answer that question, it's what is the feeling I'm having in my body right now that's making me uncomfortable? And what do I want to do to fix that? And then what do I really need? So look at what are the feelings? What is the behavior that I'm doing, trying to accomplish? Am I trying to shut myself down? Am I trying to avoid? And the next question is, how does the bad behavior work for you? All three of these questions are intended to help you identify what's under. What is the need that you're trying to fulfill? If you stopped and paid attention to yourself, what would it be that you would actually be doing for yourself instead of this compulsive behavior that you're not happy with? Sometimes that's hard to determine when we have a history of childhood trauma, so it might take time to discover. What I want you to remember is this behavior that you don't like is one that has helped you survive. So please don't beat yourself up about it. It's helped you stop feeling bad and it was useful. Now we just need to change it so that you're actually meeting your needs. You're not in survival anymore. You were in survival as a child while you were being traumatized, but now is not survival time. Now is time to thrive. Now is time to replace behaviors that helped us survive but that aren't serving us anymore. So forgive yourself for the behavior you've had and give yourself compassion. Remember, when you were a child and things weren't going well, you criticized yourself and you were receiving criticism for the behaviors that you did, or right alongside the behaviors that you did. That was the best you knew how to do. And so your brain, your trauma brain, is surviving on autopilot. Those behaviors worked for you. If they're not working now, it's okay to be compassionate with yourself and to forgive yourself and to promise yourself that you're going to keep trying even if you aren't getting it right the first time. Remember, it took me 2 weeks to get out of the roasted salted nuts bathing I was doing on a regular basis. And that was with me having this system that I've been practicing and developing over time myself. So if no one has taught you, if you haven't had a way of learning something different that you can apply for yourself, how should you know? We often, as trauma survivors, hold ourselves up to this impossible standard that we're supposed to know. No, actually, if nobody taught you, then you're not supposed to know. Be open to learning and forgive yourself for not knowing ahead of time. The other thing is that we cannot muscle through to change our behaviors. And it takes more than 21 days to change a habit. And I'm not talking about time. What I'm talking about is this idea that if you can just change your behavior for 21 days, then your behavior will be new and different and you'll be a different person. That is self-defeating because we really have to change what's underneath it. And the motivation to avoid fear is really, really powerful. So we have to connect safety and knowing that you're safe now with real steps that help you understand and make sense of this behavior that you're wanting to change. And as soon as you change the way you're thinking about it, the change of behavior will come much, much more easily. That's what happens when we get into the lesson week where we're talking about the 6 steps for healing a trigger. You'll see how it all comes together. So for now, what I want you to know is that you have to insert time after the feelings that are uncomfortable. So once you feel yourself having a compulsive desire to do something, that's the time to stop and say, wait a minute. I need to spend time between feeling these feelings and doing the behavior so that I can choose an action that works for me. Pay attention to your feelings and pay attention to what you really need. Chocolate cake isn't a real need. Things like food that's healthy for your body and a safe place to rest and getting enough sleep and drinking enough water, those are the things that are our real needs. Knowing that we belong somewhere, know that we're safe in relationship, know that we're loved, all of those, and we'll be going over that in a later lesson. Really pay attention. If you think you need something that's connected to your compulsive behavior, it's probably time to stop and give yourself some more time and look at it. Then try to choose behaviors that match your real needs. So start listening to your body. Do I need to sleep? Am I thirsty? Do I need rest? Try to match them. The more we match our real needs, with our behavior choices, the less we'll feel compelled to do things that really don't serve us anymore. So it helps you to have reminders of what healthy choices are. So this young woman in this picture, maybe she's been in a fight and her PTSD wants her to scream or to withdraw or to jump into the hamburger solution, when really maybe one of the best choices is to talk. So it really helps to have reminders of healthy choices. And so that's what I want you to do in response to this lesson. I want you to start to make a list. Make a list of the behaviors you don't like, and then choose one of them and start to observe what's going on. What are the feelings that happen in your body right before you go into this behavior? Observe. Think about, what is the need that I really have in this situation? And then make a list of things that you potentially could do. Here's the thing, when we get triggered and we want to go straight into our compulsive behaviors, we usually, if we don't have a list that we've made or something we can refer to, we can't think of anything better to do than the compulsive behavior itself. So make a list, make a choice of which behavior you want to be working on, then observe yourself and make some lists of some choices that may be better for you based on the needs that you observe as you're doing this work. So our next lesson, we'll be talking about the entire cycle of unhealthy habits, including those feelings of guilt, shame, and fear that come up for us when we're struggling. So I'll see you in the next lesson.